The Jane Sanders Burlington College story is back, and you have the absurd, irrational Bernie haters showing how foolish they remain. Now, last week in Politico, or Hackio as I call them since they are full of Beltway centrist corporate hack reporters, had longtime Bernie Sanders biographer Harry Joffrey release a piece indicating that Bernie and Jane Sanders are lawyering up over this FBI investigation. And that's when you know the matters are starting to get serious, when you have to get the lawyers now for this FBI investigation. But the minute that piece was published for all the world to see, the Shilleries and anti-Bernie Legion tweeted with glee like they had just won the lottery. No rhyme intended there, by the way. They were all over the place, putting it into Bernie Sanders supporters' faces like, aha, your guy's a fraud. He's under investigation. Bank fraud. Bernie wouldn't have won. You had Peter Dopey Diao, you had Imandi always having a grudge with leftist Grandi, and you had Sally Not Bright Albright, and all the usual deranged Bernie Sanders haters that are of the center to the liberal sector, if you want to even give them that label, just celebrating wildly over these claims. Only for then them still not being cognizant of who had pushed this investigation, and showing further how moronic and immature they really are. Now, just in case, if Jane Sanders is found to do something here that was illegal, then we would clearly acknowledge that. No matter if you're a beloved progressive figure, we would lose our integrity and trust with you if we weren't telling you the whole truth and keeping it 1000% real with you. If someone did something wrong of that magnitude, we would acknowledge that without any hesitation. Because unlike centrist corporate media, we actually do hold everyone accountable. Now, it does appear that Jane Sanders maybe promised too much in overstating the amount of pledge money she received in donations to secure a loan for Burlington College to move to a lakefront campus. In the end, Jane Sanders received that $6.5 million loan from People's United Bank. People's United Bank didn't have to do that. And in this situation, they probably shouldn't have done that. They should have asked for sufficient proof that Jane Sanders did have the money that she said she received in pledge donations for Burlington College to move to a new lakefront campus. That's not on Jane Sanders. That's on People's United Bank for not having strict enough rules to then say to themselves, wait a minute, maybe we shouldn't give you this loan since we don't have full proof that you do have that $2 million total that you said you had in those donations. And now we bring in Bradley Thompson, the latest annoying conservative Republican Donald Trump operative that you had the misfortune of learning about. He's the one that pushed the FBI to investigate Jane Sanders over this Burlington College deal, and Thompson has had a long history in Vermont of going at Democratic or leftist political foes. One person in particular was former Vermont Governor Peter Shimlin. Peter Shimlin, who was a Democrat, had to face off against Thompson when Thompson was representing a neighbor who Shimlin did a property deal over. It was alleged that Shimlin sort of swindled this guy who has a mental disability and bought the property for about 20% the value of what it actually was. Thompson made sure to go at Shimlin full force on the matter because that is what terrible Republican conservative hacks do when they try to take down any Democrat they can. And now Thompson, after pushing for Jane Sanders to be investigated, has now floated the idea that Bernie Sanders forced the bank to approve of the $6.5 million loan that Jane Sanders and Burlington College received. And the source who Thompson said told him about Bernie Sanders possibly influencing the bank to approve of his wife's loan deal, well, he basically refuted what Thompson said just this past weekend. And it so happens to be that Torson's source is a prominent Republican in the state of Vermont. So prominent that he is the House Minority Leader in the Capitol up in Burlington. The Republican's name is Don Turner, and he said that he does not recall any conversation that he has had with Thompson about that matter, and also added, quote, "There's no way I'll file a complaint or anything like that." Don Turner's comments won't stop the investigation into whether Jane Sanders actually committed any bank fraud here, but they undercut Torson breathlessly claiming that Bernie Sanders is hiding something and influenced that bank loan deal to happen from People's United Bank to his wife. Who knows how this investigation is going to end? Bernie and Jane Sanders certainly don't know, and that's why they got the lawyers to try to defend them, because this process with this now lunatic administration in charge is completely capricious, where no one, even if they were the best prognosticator in Vegas, would want to put a bet on how this situation will be resolved. But it clearly shows once again how Republican and conservative hack operatives always look to try to politically damage any Democratic or leftist figures any chance they can get. And for those Hillary supporters and anti-Bernie legion, they are enthralled by this because it serves as another way to pile up on Jane and Bernie Sanders, despite this investigation being far from over, and who was the one who led to this investigation happening. It's why they will always serve as useful idiots for the likes of conservative hacks such as Bradley Thompson. And they will always continue to go at the left because they can't stand the left so very much, even for things led by a Republican conservative hack. For TYT Politics, I'm Andrew Jones, and may you not spend one more thought on your day on Bradley Thompson after this video. Take care.